Willkommen! My name is Sean Huggins. I'm an American living in Germany, and on this channel, I'm looking to learn all about life in Germany and Europe in general through watching silly videos and stuff on the internet with you guys. So if you enjoy, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day, and let's just hop straight into it. So today we're taking a look at why are so many Americans moving to Germany right now. For me personally, I can say that my now fiance and we met in America and we were living in America, and then her student visa ran out. She had to come back to Germany, and I decided, well, let me just sell everything, quit my job, and move across the world so that we can stay together. And now I'm here. So that's my reason, but apparently there's a lot more Americans doing this as well. So let's see what's going on here.
Guys, every time I go onto YouTube, on my YouTube homepage, it seems like there's a new YouTube channel of Americans moving to Germany and having a YouTube channel about it. We're taking over, me. Guys. Us Americans in Germany, we take it over. Sorry to tell you.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie, and along with my wife Aubrey, we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie, and along with my wife Aubrey, we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing
Hold on a second, run that back. Yo, this guy just hit us with the L for the two? You don't do this for two? You count to two like this? 1, 2, or 1, 2? What the heck? I think this guy's an alien. Who counts like this to two? What the heck?
Two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout.
What do you got for me, Donnie?
If you don't know that YouTube channel from the intro, that is Nauf, an American playing professional American football in Germany. In one of his videos last May, he mentioned something that I also have been noticing for a while, and that is an increasing number of Americans in Germany YouTube channels. Nearly every day that I get on YouTube, YouTube recommends me 1 or 2 new channels to watch that are Americans that have moved to Germany for some reason or another.
Have you seen my vlog channel that documents my journey from America to Germany? Check out my vlog channel, Sean Huggins, linked in the description below.
And are sharing their experiences with the world. And real quick, I actually want you guys to tell me in the comments who some of your favorite channels are in this category. So with all of these new channels popping up on my YouTube feed, it made me ask a few questions. 1, is Americans coming to Germany actually a real growing trend? 2, are Americans looking at actually immigrating to Germany? And 3,
I don't know.
Why are so many Americans and some Canadians moving to Germany? Okay, let's tackle my first question. Are there really growing numbers of Americans flocking to Germany? Or does the fact that I watch so many of them that YouTube recommends me every one of them, and therefore I perceive it as if there are growing numbers of Americans coming here? I found an article by The Culture Trip from 2017 titled, "Why US Citizens Are Flocking to Germany."
Okay, and this was in 2017, so this was quite a few years ago. So let's see.
That seemed to support the idea that Americans really are moving to Germany at high rates. And in this article, they wrote, recently, there has been an unprecedented rise in the number of US citizens moving to Germany. However, they then wrote that statistics show that as many as 1,086 Americans received German citizenship in the year 2016.
Wow, over 1,000 Americans received German citizenship that year. Seems like a fair amount.
And so far in 2017, Germany has received a never before seen number of applications for German citizenship from Americans. So of course, now that we are living in the future, I was able to check the data and see if truly an unprecedented number of Americans really did end up becoming German citizens in 2017. And well, actually the number of Americans who became citizens of Germany went down.
Oh, interesting. Well, this is a good lesson that I guess you can't take everything at face value on the internet. You just never know sometimes, so you got to do your own research, I suppose.
In 2017 from the previous year. So I dug a little more and found some spreadsheets put out by the German Federal Statistical Office that showed from 2013 up until 2019, the number of Americans living in Germany was in fact a slight growing trend. But of course in 2020, the world was shut down and actually ABC
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
News reported that more Americans left Germany than moved into the country as the overall number of foreigners moving to Germany hit a 10-year low for that year. This probably had something to do with people being cut off from their friends and family in their home countries, or could have to do with government regulations due to the pandemic not allowing the same freedom of movement between nations.
Yeah, I mean, in the early stages of COVID, Germany was very locked down, way more so than America. So being separated from your family and maybe being afraid of not being able to see your family again, or getting stuck in Germany when you want to come back and help your family or see your family, that I'm sure has something to do with it.
So to answer the question of are Americans really moving to Germany at a rapid rate, well, I guess the definition of rapid would have to be argued over, but with the exception being 2020 and taking into consideration the global pandemic, yes, there is in fact a rising number of Americans moving to Germany every year. I personally wouldn't describe the trend as rapid, but it definitely is growing. But
yeah, I think that it's definitely growing, but yeah, I would agree with him. I wouldn't say it's rapid or like some crazy number, but yeah, it's definitely growing according to the numbers.
But like I asked in my second question, what are they moving here for? Are they actually immigrating, or are they here short term? Or maybe are they like us and they have no idea what they are doing and they are just living in the moment? So before I get to what I found, I will add this caveat. I only looked at how many Americans were actually moving to Germany permanently based on how many became citizens every year. However, this may not actually even be a great data point to look at for a couple of reasons, and those reasons may actually be in the process of changing very soon anyways. Really, the main two reasons why looking at the number of Americans who are becoming German citizens to help determine how many are moving to Germany permanently isn't a great idea are, one, that for right now, Germany is a country that does not allow dual citizenship except in very specific exceptions to this rule. Therefore,
that makes sense. People might not want to change their American citizenship to German and then also lose their American citizenship, or it's just easier to stay an American citizen and then you don't have to worry about jumping through all the hoops to become a German citizen. It's a fair point.
Or in most cases, if an American were to meet the criteria to become a German citizen, they would actually have to renounce their American citizenship in order to be allowed to gain that German citizenship. As I'm sure you can understand, this makes making that jump less enticing if all of your family, friends, and possibly identity still resides in the US. Reason number two, the United States actually has the world's highest fees to renounce citizenship.
Whoa, interesting. The world's highest fees to renounce citizenship. Wow, fascinating.
In order to discourage Americans from wanting to leave their passport behind. Just as a comparison, to give up American citizenship costs $2,350, but for a German giving up their citizenship, the fee is $0. So besides the emotional decision it would be to give up American citizenship for German, there also can be a large financial strain put on someone who may have difficulty affording it.
Yeah, that is a very big financial strain on the American side of things. And then I have to imagine on the German side of things, it's not an easy process to become a citizen. I'm sure there's a very long bureaucratical process in order to become a German citizen, like doing most things here. So yeah, I could see both of those things combined, just dissuading people and people thinking, I'll just stay an American citizen, but just live in Germany forever and just not be a German citizen, whatever. At least I can live here and just not worry about it.
So all this to say, many Americans may actually stay in Germany perpetually without ever trying to get German citizenship. But let's say that an American is completely devoted to moving and committing their life to Germany. What would be some of the perks? Well, I guess that there are a large number of reasons someone might make that decision. Like, one could be the strength of the German passport, because Germany actually ties for the second most powerful passport in the world, above the USA, which is sitting tight at number 6.
The German passport allows for 4 extra countries on top of the American one. Interesting. And Japan with the best passport in the world.
Second most powerful passport in the world, above the USA, which is sitting tight at number 6. There also is the fact that with Germany being a member of the EU, if you get German citizenship, you are allowed to move freely and live in any other EU member state, nearly as if you were a citizen there as well.
That is a very big benefit of being an EU citizen, is how freely you can move between the different EU countries and work and live, and yeah, very good benefit.
But with all that being said, here is the data of Americans becoming German citizens from 2000 until 2020. You can clearly see that it is in fact a growing trend, even with the difficult hurdles both countries put in place.
What the heck happened in 2018? I mean, it's definitely still growing, obviously, but still not what I would consider rapid or anything. No crazy numbers. I mean, we're still talking about 1,000 people a year. Not like a mass migration.
2000, only 165 Americans received German citizenship, whereas in 2020, 935 became citizens. However, like I briefly mentioned, Germany is in a place where all things could soon be changing. The new and current German government has proposed plans to not only reduce the requirements to become German citizens, but more importantly to Americans, allow dual citizenship. If this actually goes into place as new law, we could see a large jump in the number of Americans wanting German citizenship so that Europe opens up to them more and they wouldn't have to renounce their own citizenship.
Now that I can definitely see. This video is several months old now at the time recording this, so I don't know if any of the laws have changed since then. Maybe if one of the Germans here watching can let me know in the comments if anything has changed since this video. But yeah, if you don't have to renounce your American citizenship to get the German citizenship, that saves a ton of money for the Americans. While also, if you have like this emotional connection to America, you can still be like, oh, well, I'm still an American citizen too, and you don't have to renounce your American citizenship, which is like, oh, I'm not American anymore. I don't know. I'm sure people have like reservations about that if they grew up in America. So yeah, if you can get dual citizenship, that sounds great.
So now for the biggest question of the three. Why are Americans moving to Germany? Well, as two
I moved to Germany to be with my fiance.
members of this population, I can briefly give our own personal story and insight into this American and Germany community. So our condensed story. When I was in college, I was required to complete a study abroad program, and I had the choices of Spain, Italy, or Germany. I chose Germany really based on three reasons. One, it was the only program of the three that the students live with a host family, whereas the others lived in university dorms, and I wanted that fully immersive cultural experience. Two, I am a huge history buff, and specifically World War II history in the European theater. It had been a dream of mine to go to Germany and experience where so much of the history I had learned had happened firsthand. And three, it was the only program that took place during the summer, and the other two would have been the entire first half of my senior year at university, and I didn't want to miss any of my last year on campus. But I loved my experience in Germany, and I hated the idea that this kind of experience would be limited to a required college program if I followed the typical American progression of life. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just for me, I had been bitten by the travel bug, I guess you could say. So I had a dream of living abroad once again and fully immersing myself in another culture and being able to travel to lots of new countries. Then when Aubrey and I got married, she was completely on board as she grew up traveling quite a bit, so we made it our mission to find a way abroad. Before we actually found a way to get a visa in a foreign country, we decided to sell most of our belongings and travel for a year. Actually, this is when we started
Whoa, look at these trees. Where the heck is that at? That looks awesome.
Our YouTube channel, and we joined a massive niche of couples like us who thought that we were unique in selling all of our belongings, quitting our jobs and traveling the world.
That's me. I did that. I quit my job and I sold everything and I moved across the world. That's what I did. That's my story. You have my story. Why do you have my story? I'm unique. I'm the special one here.
Or realizing that we live in the age of digital nomads and everybody putting their lives on YouTube. After that year, we decided to move to Germany and we kept our YouTube channel, which pushed us.
Yeah, I did YouTube before moving to Germany, but I started a completely new YouTube when I got here as like a fresh start, fresh country, fresh start to YouTube. And yeah, it's been great so far.
Into a different, already rather saturated niche that we didn't even know existed, and that is of Americans living in Germany, and some Canadians too. The basic reasons that we settled on Germany once again were that Germany felt somewhat familiar and I had a connection to it because of my experience in college. Aubrey was able to find a job in Germany in her career field of speech and language pathology, and we loved how central it was in Europe so that we could easily travel across this side of the globe. Now,
yeah, Germany being centrally located in Western Europe is really nice for traveling. I mean, I would be here either way because of my fiance, like I said, but it's very convenient being here so that we can travel around Europe a lot easier. It's nice and central. So we do a lot of traveling, we go on a lot of trips, and I vlog the whole thing. So check out my vlog channel, linked in the description, for our travel vlogs and more. My human experience is unique, and that's why I put it on YouTube. Everyone pay attention to me.
That is just our story, but what about all the other Americans in Germany? In the same article I referenced from the culture trip before, they said while no particular reason for this surge has officially been pegged down, a popular theory is that more and more Americans are experiencing disillusionment over the new presidential rule in the USA. Now, we have to remember that this article was written in 2017, and maybe that was a reason for people to be leaving the US at that time, according to them, but that doesn't explain why they would choose Germany as their destination. Now, later in the same article, they did give a few possible reasons that Americans were choosing Germany specifically, like the cost of higher education in Germany compared to the US, how strong the economy is in Germany, and yet how they still need a lot of skilled workers, Germany's top-class healthcare facilities compared to the cost in the US, and the ease at which Americans can enter Germany.
I would definitely agree with all of these things for sure. All of these things make it very easy for an American to move to Germany, but I'll also add, as time goes on, the world becomes more and more digital, which makes things even easier. Working remote has become increasingly easier. Being away from your family and friends has become a bit easier with things like FaceTime and all that. Being able to translate things on the fly with just your smartphone, or even just navigating around a foreign country with your smartphone. Traveling in general has become easier and easier as the world becomes more digitized. And I think that that's also a big thing to consider when looking at these numbers as well. It's just easier. There's just less barriers to entry to do what I did, which is just get rid of everything and just move across the world. There's just less barriers than there were 10 years ago, 20 years ago to do a big, bold move like that with your life.
However, this article is talking specifically about Americans who chose on their own to move to Germany and did so. But there also is a massive block of Americans that we cannot ignore because they make up a huge chunk of the American and Germany population, and that is the American military. Honestly, we knew the American military had a presence in Germany, but we never really realized how large this community is in Germany until we moved here. From 2006 to 2018, the number of American military members in Germany actually halved from roughly 72,400 to 33,250.
And I think even after 2018, it dramatically dropped as well, even further than that. But if you have all these American military families living over in Germany for a few years even, they see what life is like in Germany, they might like it, and then they might come back later in life. Or maybe their kids come back later in life. That's actually what happened to me. My mom worked for the American military in Germany for 3 years. Me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, we all lived in Germany for 3 years from like 1999 to 2001. And we loved it. And then we moved back to America for 20 years. And then just by fate, I guess, I met my fiance Isa, who happened to be German. Her visa happened to, I guess, by fate run out, and she had to go back to Germany, and the stars aligned, and now here I am. I had no problem moving back to Germany because I at least knew what to expect. Even though I was a very young kid when I was in Germany last time, I still knew what to expect when coming to Germany, at least a little bit, so that made it a lot easier as well. But you have to imagine that there's a lot of other people with American military backgrounds who end up in Germany because, again, they know what to expect and they like what they see, so they come back to Germany.
Today, there is in the neighborhood of 35,000 American troops stationed in Germany. However, what that figure doesn't include are the number of Americans that those 35,000 bring with them, like spouses, children, or other possible dependents. Beyond that, there are also in the neighborhood of 15,000 civilian U.S. Department of Defense employees in Germany, and
that's what my mom was. Basically. Anyways, not important.
Also have families that they have brought with them. In fact, in and around the city of Kaiserslautern, where you can find the most overwhelmingly large American communities in Germany, over 53,000 Americans live and work to support the largest American airbase outside of the US in terms of personnel. Really, if you look at the YouTube channels of Americans living in Germany, you get a pretty good cross-section, an idea of why they are here. There are a lot of university students. There are those that move to Germany because of relationships relationships or marriages. Others are just seeking a cultural experience and adventure. Some 40 million Americans in the US have German heritage, and maybe a few wanted to move to Germany to connect with their family history. And some are definitely politically motivated. Some just went where the jobs are, and some just come so they can post shirtless videos of them working out.
Wow, what a great video. It's interesting to see the number of Americans actually increasing that have been moving to Germany. But I'll leave it to you guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that there seems to be more Americans moving to Germany than in years past? Or do you think that this is just normal business as usual? I think that there's probably more Americans moving to Germany every year, but I don't think that it's a mad rush. I don't think it's a crazy amount. I think that Germany is a very appealing place to live for a large number of reasons, and it's just getting easier and easier for people to move from America to Germany. And I think that that's a good thing because we can all just be one big happy family together, I feel like. But at any rate, that's all the time that I have for today. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day. Check the links in the description for all of my other social media, including my vlog channel. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.